Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. Now we are going to discuss about a TET previous year question paper which is held on 3rd Jan of 2026, shift 1 paper. In this series, first part I already did in a video, and those who did not watch, please go through that video, and let us get into the today's question part. Let us see the first question. Angle formed by the line of sight with the horizontal line when the point is below to the horizontal level. Okay, this question is from the 10th class application of trigonometry chapter. Okay, so here what we are asked to find out, we are asked to find out angle formed by the line of sight with the horizontal line when the point is below to the horizontal level. That means what? From the certain height, if you are observing an object which is on the ground, then this is known as an line of sight. Okay, this red color is known as an line of sight, and this green color act as an horizontal line. Okay, so then angle formed by this line of sight with a horizontal line is called as an angle of depression. If horizontal line is below to the line of sight, then that is known as an angle of elevation. That means what? From the down, if you are observing a point on the top of the building, and this red color is known as an line of sight, and from the observer's height, if you draw a parallel line to the base, then here you will get it as an angle. This angle is known as an angle of elevation. దీన్ని ఏమంటాం? ఊర్ధ్వకోణము అని అంటాం. కింద నుంచి పైకి చూస్తే ఊర్ధ్వకోణము, పై నుంచి కిందకి చూస్తే నిమ్న కోణము అంటాం. దాన్ని ఇంగ్లీష్ లో డిప్రెషన్ అంటాం. సో మనకి దీనికి సంబంధించిన ఆన్సర్ ఏంటి? ఫస్ట్ ఆన్సర్ ఇస్ ది కరెక్ట్ ఆన్సర్. ఓకేనా? Now let us see the next question. Two poles of height 7 meters and 12 meters erect on the two sides of the road with the distance between their feet is 12 meters. Then the distance between their tops. This is again from the same topic. Okay. Now let us observe the question. Two poles are erected on the two sides of this road. If I suppose this as a road, okay. If it has a road, it is of 12 meters, and on the both sides two poles are erected. One pole is of 7 meters and the other pole is of 12 meters. Take that one pole as a 12 meters and another pole is an 7 meters. Okay, this pole is of 7 meters and this is of 12 meters. Okay, so what we are asked to find out, we are asked to find out the distance between their tops. Distance between their tops, that means this red color line distance that we need to find out. For that case, to find out that, if I drop a perpendicular line, if I draw a horizontal line here as a here to here 7, and this part is also 7, total length is 12, this part is 7 means remaining part is 5, as a road of 12 meters, and this is also 12, this is also 12, and here it is at 90 degrees. Now you can see a right angle triangle. In this right angle triangle, we know the base as a 12, height as a 5. By using Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square is equal to under root of base square plus height square. By using this, you can take it as an 144 plus 25, that is of square root of 169, that is of 13. Or if you are well versed about Pythagorean plus, if two sides of right angle triangle are 5 and 12, definitely third one will match with the 13. So the distance between their tops is what? 13 meters. That is of third answer is the correct one. Okay. Now let us see the next question. Set of rational numbers is subset of a set of. ఓకే, రేషనల్ నెంబర్స్ అనేది ఏ సెట్కి ఉపసమితిగా ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా, రేషనల్ నెంబర్స్ అనేది రియల్ నెంబర్స్కి ఉపసమితిగా ఉంటుంది. రియల్ నెంబర్స్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఇట్ ఈస్ అన్ యూనియన్ ఆఫ్ రేషనల్ నెంబర్స్ and irrational number. Okay, this is called the rational number. Rational numbers means what? The numbers which can be written in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are belongs to integers. Okay, collection of rational numbers is represented by capital Q, and Q dash means what? The numbers which cannot be written in the form of P by Q are known as irrational numbers. All together we'll say it as a collection of real numbers. So all the rational numbers are the real numbers. So we can say that the collection of rational numbers is a subset to the real numbers. So answer is 2. Okay. Now let us see the next question. Ramesh sells a table and gains an amount of equals to 40 percentage of selling price. Then his profit percentage. Ramesh sells a table and gains 40 percentage of its selling price. Okay, suppose if he sell that table for 100 rupees, then his profit will be his 40 percentage of selling price. So 40 percentage means what? 40 for 100, selling price is 100, 100 get cancelled. We get a profit in terms of rupees as a 40 rupees. And what we need to find out profit percentage. So in order to find out profit percentage, what is the formula of profit percentage? Profit in terms of rupees by cost price into 100. Here we know the selling price and profit in terms of rupees, but we don't know the cost price. So firstly we need to try to find out a value of a cost price. For that we are going to make use of a profit formula. We know that profit is equals to selling price minus cost price. In this we can substitute for 40 as a profit, and selling price we assumed as a 100, and cost price is minus CP, and transposing this negative cost price to other hand becomes positive, and transposing this 40 plus 40 to other hand becomes a negative, so that you'll get cost price is equals to 100 minus 40. 100 minus 40 means what? 60 rupees you'll get. That means cost price is 6 rupees. Now we are going to find out a profit percentage. Profit percentage means what? Profit in terms of rupees is 40 by 60 into 100. Okay, so 23 is a 22 is a, this can be written as 200 by 3 percentage. If you convert into decimals, you will get written a 66.666, that you will get percentage. This can be written as 66.67 percentage. So you can go with the fourth option is the correct one in this case. Okay, now let us see the next question. The base of a parallelogram is 8 times of its height. If the area is 1152 square centimeters, then its height is, okay, here what we have given? We have given that area of parallelogram, and there is a relation between the height and the base. Okay, how heights and base are related? Here base is 8 times of its height. So first let us suppose ABCD is a parallelogram. In this parallelogram, the distance between these parallel sides is act as a height. If I suppose this is height as a x, then base will be 8 times of this height. That means 8x. If I suppose height as an x meters, then x centimeters, sorry, and base becomes what? 8 times of x. And what else we know? We know that area of parallelogram given as an 1152 square centimeters. But as per the formula, what is the formula of area of parallelogram? That is base into height gives you 1152. From this base, if I substitute as an 8x into height x is equals to 1152. From this, if I transpose this 8 to other hand, it becomes a divisor, and x into x square is equals to 1152 by 8. Okay, to simplify this, okay, 8 1 the 8, 8 1 the 8, 3 left, 8 4 the 32, 3 left, 4. It means what we got? We got x square is equals to 144. From this, x is equals to square root of 144. That gives you x is equals to 12 centimeters we got. Now what we are asked to find out? We are asked to find out the height. Height means what? We assumed height of the parallelogram we assumed as a x. So x value we got as a 12. So height of this parallelogram is 12 centimeters. So from the answer options, you can go with the third one is the correct one. Next question is that Raju is 4 times as old as Ravi. Raju is 4 times as old as Ravi. If the difference between their ages is 9 years, the age of Raju. Okay, what we have given? We have given that Raju is 4 times as old as an Ravi. Suppose if I assume that Ravi as a Ravi says, if I assume Ravi says an X years, now Raju age is becomes what? 4 times of X, that is 4x years. And what else we have given? We have given the difference. Difference means what? Greater minus smaller. Out of this X and 4x, what is greater? 4x. So difference between their ages. That means Raju's age minus Ravi's age is equals to 9. That is 3x is equals to 9. From this x is equals to 9 by 3. 3 ones, 3 threes. We got x is equals to 3. Now what we are asked to find out? Raju says. So Raju says what we assumed? We assumed Raju is as an 4x. So 4 into x value we got as a 3. So 4 3 is a 12 years. So Raju says is what? 12 years. So second option is a correct one in this case. Okay. Now let us see the next question. Okay, we have given a number in the decimal form and we are asked to write this in a standard form. Firstly, standard form means what? A writing of a number as a in the form of m into 10 to the power of n, where m lies between a 0 to 10, 0 to 10, and n is a any integer. N is an any integer. Expressing of a number in this form is known as a standard form. In this standard form, firstly you need to understand that in the given number, where it the first non-zero number is started. Okay, so after how many places non-zero number will started? Means here up to here 3, 3, 3, 9, 10, 11. That means this decimal point, if you want to represent this in this number into standard form, this decimal point should come after the 2. That means at least it is has to be reached to the 11 steps to this side. So to write this in the standard form, we can write this write the decimal point after the 2.45 into how many steps this decimal point is moved here, 11 steps. So this can be written as 2.45 into 10 to the power of minus 11. We can write this is what a standard form of this given number. So this is a third option is the correct one. If you want to practice more about the standard form, please go through the 8th class exponents and powers chapter. Okay, in that there is a separate exercise regarding the standard form of this number. Okay, even 7th class also there is an exercise regarding the standard form. Okay, now let us see the next question. LCM of 240, 540, 900. Okay, we are asked to find out a LCM of 240, okay, 540 and 900. Okay, now to do that, I'm going with the prime factorization method. In this case, say 2 120s, 270s, 270s, this is 450s. Okay, then afterwards by what table we can go? We can go ahead with a 3 table. 340s, 39s, next 3 150s, again 3 table. In 3 table you won't get a 40, you can write as is 330s, 350s, again you can go with a 5 table, 5 8s, 5 6, 5 10s. Now you can go ahead with the 2 table, 2 4s, 2 3s, 2 5s, again 2 table, 2 2s, 3 s's, 5 s's. Now to find out LCM, once check that options in what manner. Options are powers of the prime numbers. So you can go with the prime number 2. 2 how many times is repeated? 2 is repeated 4 times. So 2 to the power of 4 into 3 is repeated how many times? 3 times. This can be written as 3 to the power of 3. In the same manner, 5 is repeated 2 times. So 5 square. So LCM of this given numbers is what? 2 to the power of 4 into 3 cube into 5 square. That's of first option is the correct one in this case. Okay. Now let us see the next question. Next question is that a box with inside measurement as a 90 centimeters, 50 centimeters by 30 centimeters is full of wooden cubes of the same size. If the number of cubes is 40, then each edge of this cube that we are asked to find out. This wooden cube is filled with what? No, no? So this is filled with um, small cubes. Okay, and wooden cube is given whose length, breadth, heights are given. Length of the wooden cube is wooden cuboid is given as a 90 centimeters. Breadth given as a 50. Okay, so this is height given as in 30 centimeters, and this box is filled with the cubes. Okay, so how many cubes it is filled? It is filled by the 40 cubes. Then now what we are asked to find out? We are asked to find out each edge of that cube. So to find out each edge of the cube, firstly we need to find out volume of each cube. Okay, how we are going to get volume of each cube means volume of cuboid should be divided by the number of cubes, so that we will get a answer volume of cube. So each cube that will get volume of cube is what? Length into breadth into height, that is 90 into 50 into 30 by 40. On simplifying it, 0 0 get cancelled. This is what 2 2s 245, 2 1s 225. Okay, so volume of each cube, that is a cube, is equals to 45 into 75. This 45 can be written as what? 9 into 5, 9 5 is 45, and this 75 can be written as 25 into 3. Now 3, this 9 can be written as 3 square. 3 square into 5 into 25 can be written as 5 square, that is 5 cube into 3. So a cube given as an 3 to the power of 3 into 5 cube. So from this, each edge is equal to what? Cubic root of 3 cube into 5 cube. So what we get? We get each edge of the cube is what? 3 into 5, that is 15. So fourth option is a correct one in this case. Now let us see the next question. If 20 is divided into two parts such that twice the square of the smaller part is 16 less than the square of the larger part, then the larger part is, okay, 20 is divided into two numbers, into two parts. Okay, suppose 20 is divided into two parts. In this smaller part if as a x, smaller part is, if I suppose as an x, larger part would be as an 20 minus x. And what else we have given? What is the relation between the smaller part and larger part? That given as an square the twice the square of smaller part. 2 times the square of smaller part is 16 less than the square the larger part. Square the larger part is what? 20 minus x the whole square. This is 2x square is equals to 20 minus x whole square. This is in the form of a minus b whole square. This can be elaborated as an a square, that is 400 plus b square x square minus 40x minus 16. So here if I transpose these all the terms to other hand, 2x square minus x square plus 40x, and this is minus 400 plus 16, that gives you 0. 2x square minus x square, that is of x square plus 40x, this is what? 384 is equals to 0. So that we get a quadratic equation. This quadratic equation, if you factorize, we get the value of x. So x square, this plus 40x minus 384 is an, this if I want to factorize as an 48x minus 8x minus 384 is equals to 0. From the four terms, first two terms if I take x as a common, x plus 48. From the second two terms, if I take minus 8 as a common, x plus 48, that is equal to 0. Again on taking x plus 48 as a common, x plus 48 times of x minus 8 is equal to 0. From this, either x plus 48 is equal to 0 or x minus 8 is equal to 0. X is equal to minus 48 and x is equal to 8. As x is equal to minus 48 is not suitable in this case, we can go ahead with the x is equal to 8. That means what we got? We got a smaller part as a 8. So larger part. What is a larger part? Larger part is what? 20 minus 6, that is 20 minus 8, that is of 12 is the correct answer. So second option is the correct answer in this case. Okay, now let us see the next question. Let us see the next question. When a marble is drawn at a random from the bag containing the 5 red marbles and 4 blue marbles, the probability of the blue, that is a blue marble. Okay, a bag containing of 5 red balls. Okay, how many blue balls are there? 4 blue balls are there. Total, how many marbles are there? 9 marbles are there. So, if we want to pick up one marble from that, what would be the probability of getting the blue marble? Probability of getting blue marble is equals to probability of getting blue marble is equal to number of blue marble, that is 4 by total number of marbles 9. So, this is of 4 by 9 is the required probability. So, third option is the correct answer. Now let us see the next question. The ratio of the base of the radii of two cylinders are given as a 4:9. The ratio of their heights is given as a 3:2. Then the ratio of their volumes. Okay. So we have given the ratio of the radii of two cylinders. So radius 1 is to radius 2 given as a 4:9. From this we can assume radius 1 as a 4x and radius 2 as a 9x. And what else we have given? Heights ratio. Height 1 is to height 2 given as an 3:2. So if I suppose height 1 as a 3y and height 2 as an 2y, and what we are asked to find out volumes ratio, volume 1 is to the volume 2. Volume of cylinder, we know the formula as a pi r square h. So as is the first volume, so pi r1 square into h1 is to pi r2 square into h2. So here pi get cancelled, both are equal quantities. As we know, R1 we assumed as an 4x. So 4x the square into H1 as a 3y is to R2 we assumed as a 9x. So 9x the whole square into 2y. This is of 16. 4 square 16. 16 3 the 48. 48 x square y is to 81 x square into 2y. Here x square y get cancelled. We left with 48 is to 81 into 2. So 2 on the 2, 224. So 24 is to 81. These all again divisible by 3 table. Okay. So 3 8s are 327. What is our required ratio? Required ratio is what? 8 is to 27. That is our first option is the correct one. Okay. Now let us see the next question. Next question is what? Sin 30 plus cos 60 minus of sin 60 plus cos 30. So to solve this problem, we must remember the standard values. So sin 30 value, decrease value as an 1 by 2, and cos 60 value is also 1 by 2. In the same manner, sin 60 value we know it as an root 3 by 2, and cos 30 value is also cos 30 degrees value is also root 3 by 2. If I substitute these values in this, sin 30 is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 minus of root 3 by 2 plus root 3 by 2. Okay, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 1 minus, if as these are like fractions we can write we can add them, root 3 plus root 3. So 1 plus 1 minus of 2 root 3 by 2, 2 get cancelled, we left with 1 minus root 3 is the answer. So that is the fourth option is the correct one. Okay, now let us see the next question. What is the maximum number of perpendicular lines and the perpendicular bisectors respectively that can be drawn to a line segment? If we have given a line segment, how many perpendicular lines we can draw? Means we can draw infinitely many perpendicular lines. So at this point you can draw a perpendicular line. At this point you can you can draw a one more perpendicular line. Likewise, at each and every point on the line segment we can draw a perpendicular line. So for a given line segment, how many perpendicular lines that can be drawn? We can draw only we can draw infinitely many perpendicular lines. But in case of perpendicular bisector means what? That should be perpendicular and that should divide this line segment into two equal parts. So we can draw only one and only one perpendicular line. So perpendicular lines is one, perpendicular bisectors is one, and perpendicular line is infinitely. So infinitely and one is the correct answer. So third option is the correct answer.